Hi guys, Wolfoid back. It's Thursday, so it's Battlefield 4 time. This week I've been contacted by V8 Jedi and he wanted some tips and tricks on using the scout choppers generally in conquest mode. Now, I'll tell you, I'm not a professional at scout choppers, I'm more of a jack of all trades, I'm just good at nearly everything. I'm not really an expert, but I'll show you what I've learned and some general information that might have slipped by you. But we'll start off with setup. Quickly run through each thing. Miniguns, brilliant for taking down light armour, infantry, helicopters, jets. Your cannons are fantastic for hitting the rear of heavy armour, tanks, amtraks, boats, etc. And they've got the splash damage. Obviously your heat seekers as your secondary weapon are the anti-air weapon, and your laser guided missiles, they are obviously your anti-armour weapons, and again they will be effective against boats and jeeps. And into your countermeasures, generally there's quite a few different things I like to run up with, and most people run with flares, but I use the ECM jammer. But the flares are great for just distracting those missiles incoming. The fire extinguisher, brilliant if you're working with a squad on board, and the ECM jammer is my favourite. I use it to get out of there and stop those locks. Now, your gyro stabilizer will keep most people upright. It's always good against those heavy hits. Stealth coating is what I roll with, stop the lock-ons. The proximity scan to scan the area for those bad guys running around. Your belt feeder is underused but fantastic for getting you back in the fight quickly, and air radar to check out where those enemy helis are. So tip number one, setup is key. If you're going to bring heat seekers and the miniguns, you're pretty much playing anti-air, so go for the aircraft, go for those choppers and jets. If you're going to bring the laser guided missile and the cannons, you're after the tanks. That's what you can do the damage to, so go for the tanks. Don't worry about infantry too much, or jeeps, because the primary weapons are capable of taking down both, just almost equally. Also, solo play, tip number two. Pick a map that suits solo play. I found the best two maps for this are probably Dawnbreaker and Flood Zone, as they offer a lot of protection and cover from the buildings. Also, it's worth noting, stay to your side of the map so that if you do get in trouble you can spot the enemy aircraft. Doing this, when in range, the Centurions will take over for you, only on spotted aircraft though. Tip number three, if you want to get more aggressive on the more open battlefield maps, try and bring a setup that complements that. So for example, the chain guns and the laser guided missile, or the cannons and the heat seekers. This should allow you to deal with any situation, whether on the ground or in the air, as it arises. Tip number four, bring your friends. The scout choppers are pathetically weak, so an extra engineer on board repairing will always keep you airborne a lot longer. And also, engineers can bring other benefits with them. But it's not just the engineers that bring benefits. The assault class and the support class also have perks, including the engineer class. The combat medic, mechanic and indirect fire perk at level 4 when unlocked will either heal friendlies, repair vehicles or resupply friendlies in the nearby vicinity. This a lot of people don't know. Tip number 5 is my personal preference. You don't have to roll with this, but the ECM jammer and stealth coating are more preventative than probably most of the other upgrades and setups out there. I like this because it allows me to remain effective and aggressive. The stealth coating makes it very hard for enemies to acquire a lock onto me at all, and the ECM jammer improves the duration of that. If popped early enough, the ECM jammer and the stealth coating work hand in hand, making it nigh on impossible to acquire a lock onto you in the first place. So you can still nip into areas and capture certain areas, or acquire another target. Or if need be, you could just pack up your bags and get the hell out of Dodge with no worries whatsoever. Last but not least guys, practice. I do have a previous video on how to handle choppers if you'd like to check that one out, but head to the test range to mess around with the setups to your heart's delight. I hope the video's been fun and informative and you found out some things that you were probably unaware of. And if you've got any polite messages you'd like to send me, I will always answer them. If you want to wait to the end of the video to check out my previous clips, you can do so, and send me a friend's request if you'd like to follow me. This is Wolfoid, signing out.